It is day 26 in Algebra 2, and for our do now today, we are going all the way back to Unit 1 to review some things we haven't looked at in quite a while. And so I gave you this worksheet, solving quadratic equations, real numbers, and the directions say to use the discriminant and the quadratic formula to solve each equation for x. So in case we have forgotten those formulas, let's put those on a sticky note. We will be using these for each of the problems. Bless you.
Thank you, thank you.
So we'll use capital D for discriminant. And does anybody remember that discriminant formula?
X equals negative b plus or minus the square.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
starting with
that's
the quadratic. That is correct. But what about just the discriminant?
D equals b squared
Yes.
minus 4ac.
Perfect. So discriminant equals b squared minus 4 times a times c. That is our discriminant formula. Yes. Now, our quadratic formula. X equals. Now we have the negative b one. So I like to put negative parentheses b plus or minus the square root of, we could write b squared minus 4ac, or if we're doing it the step way where we do discriminant first and then quadratic formula, what goes under the square root? The d discriminant. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of the discriminant. All over
2 times A.
2 times a. Good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight and use a couple of colors here today. Get my notes organized. Let's see. I'm going to get out blue, purple, pink, green. Yellow. So I'm going to make my discriminant green. And make A pink. Blue. Blue for B, for B for blue. Now that blue and green really looks the same.
I know I have to do different colors when I'm white on gray.
I'm gonna use if I put a little yellow over this green and make it more green. Let's do this. I want B with blue. And then B with green.
What color did you use for C? Purple?
C, I used purple, yeah. So I'll also put, I'll just outline with some colors. And A was. Okay, so now we can see what's getting plugged in a little better. Okay, so discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. Anything that's not highlighted is always included in the formula. You want to never put any extra numbers in where there's no highlighting. So let's look at number 1 here. When we are using formulas like these, we know that there's going to be some things we need to identify. So it looks like I need an A, a B, and a C. For this first equation, I have negative 5x squared minus 12x plus 65 equals 0. What would be my A, B, and C?
Negative 5 is going to be your B.
My B?
Yes.
First one?
First.
A.
Yeah.
Here we go. A. And then what's my B?
-12.
Yes, -12 will be my B. Yeah, so B is -12. And what is my C?
65.
65. So I'm gonna kind of rewrite these too with these highlighters. 65 is C, -12 is B, A is -5. Okay, so I've got my numbers highlighted. So with the directions I've given you on this worksheet, I'm having you find the discriminant first. I think breaking these into 2 steps rather than doing it all at once kind of prevents some of our mistakes that we make. So let's start by finding our discriminant. So let's write D equals, yes, we're going to plug it in. So parentheses, what number goes first? -12. Then we copy the rest of the formula. After -12, we have squared -4. I'll leave a spot for A and a spot for C. So what goes in the next 2 blanks?
-5.
And then
60.
65. Good. Okay. So I have everything plugged in. So when I'm finding the discriminant, now I have things plugged in. What will I do from here? Distribute. What am I distributing?
-12 and 2. Well, multiply it.
Multiply
-12 with the 2.
-12 with the 2. So like -12 times 2?
Yeah.
So remember, this is squared. What does squared mean?
Multiplying -12 by itself.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So that means I'm multiplying -12 twice. The 2 tells me how many times. So we're doing -12 times -12. Or
All this.
parenthesis, -12, close the parenthesis, squared. We can type it in like that too. Enter. You should get, yes, 144. Okay, so that's the first thing. I'm going to cross that out and write 144 underneath -12 squared. Okay. So now what do I do?
Multiply -4 with -5 and 65.
Yes, multiply these 3 numbers. -4 times -5 times 65.
So you get 1,300.
Yes, 1,300. Now, we got positive 1,300. So what do I write?
Add.
Yeah,
144 plus.
plus 1,300. Because we got a positive answer. Okay. So, now what?
Add them together.
Yeah.
To discriminate.
Together?
It's gonna be 1,404.
Perfect. 1,444. Beautiful. That is our discriminant. D equals 1,444. Okay. So now I have my discriminant. What should I do next?
Use the bottom formula.
Yes, now we're going to use the bottom formula, the quadratic formula. So I'm going to now write this formula, but leave blanks to plug numbers into. X equals negative parenthesis. What goes in my first one?
Plus the negative.
What do I put here?
It's
Oh,
gonna
I'm
be
sorry.
12.
That's okay.
-12.
Yes, -12. Good. Negative 12. That's still my B. And now you're right, Charles. Plus and then minus. Plus or minus.
Your square root.
Square root.
Then for your discriminant it was 144.
Yes. 144. And then there's one more 4. 1,444. So 1, 4, 4. Good morning. Okay. So I plugged in my discriminant. Now what?
5, 2 times
Negative 5.
negative 5.
Good. Divide by 2 times negative 5. Everything is all plugged in. All right. I have plugged everything in. Now, this is often the hardest part to figure out what do I do from here. So what do I do from here? Could split it into 2. But before I split it into 2, times what?
2 times 5, negative 5.
You are going to do 2 times negative 5. We're also, basically, we want to simplify these 3 things. I have negative outside of negative 12. I want to get rid of that square root, figure out what that is. And I want to do 2 times negative 5. We want to simplify these 3 things at this step.
Negative 12.
So what happens with the negative
Become
negative 12? Yes, that becomes, I'll cross this out, and I'll write below, positive 12.
plus or minus.
Good. Now I go to the next one, plus or minus.
Then your square root of 1444 is 38.
Perfect. So remember, in case you forgot, how do we type a square root in? When we get it on our calculator, we're going to use the second button. And then down here, x squared, you see that square root symbol's right above it. And now we have it on our screen. 1444, enter. 38. Now, since I just found the square root of 1444, do I bring down the square root symbol?
No.
No, just the 38. What we just did on our calculator got rid of the square root symbol. We don't need it anymore. So I'm just going to write the answer, 38. Okay.
2 times negative 5 is 8.
Perfect. Then 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. So I'll cross that out, bring that down. And now, yes, now that we have 3 numbers and no weird symbols other than the plus or minus, we can split into the plus or minus equations. So I'm going to move everything out of the way and let's start with our plus. What should I write for this?
12 plus 38 over negative 10.
Good. 12 plus 38 over negative 10.
And 12 minus 38.
Good. And then our minus will be 12 minus 38 over negative 10. Okay. Now, when I get to this last step here, can I type that in all at once? 12 plus 38 divided by negative 10? No, you don't want to do it all at once unless you put parentheses around what needs to happen first. And what needs to happen first here? Yeah, my addition, what's on top, my 12 plus 38, because it's in a fraction, we want to add these together and then divide by negative 10. Because watch what happens if I do it all at once. 12 plus 38 divided by negative 10, I'm getting 8.2. But if I put parentheses first, 12 plus 38 in parentheses, telling my calculator do the addition first, then divide by negative 10. Now I get the right answer, negative 5. Ah, I know it. Those parentheses change things for us.
I'm gonna be honest, I lightweight got confused on what you said, what to do first, because I looked up at the order of operation. I'm like, you divide first.
Right, normally you would divide first. But technically the reason that we're adding first is because this is like one big division problem. But whenever we have addition inside of that division, we got to get that done first so that we can do the overall division. It can be a little confusing. It definitely can be. What you could also do is just 12 plus 38. Get your answer, which is 50. Then divide by negative 10. And now that negative 5 makes a little more sense. So that's how we got it. If you type it in all at once, you have to use parentheses. So your calculator knows not to divide first. That's the difference. So for our plus, we get negative 5. Now let's do our minus. I'll do it with the parentheses.
Negative 26 over negative 10.
Okay, negative 26 over negative 10. So 12 minus 38. Yep, that is negative 26. I'll divide by negative 10 and we get
2.6.
2.6. Positive 2.6. Okay, so those are our answers. And if you remember way back, the way that we can write these answers, we have a few options. These are single x values, not a coordinate. So do not put them in parentheses. Then you're telling me it's an x and a y. We can put these, we can either say x equals negative 5, comma, 2.6 with no parentheses. Or I can do those fancy brackets, negative 5, comma, 2.6. So these are the two ways we can write these answers. Okay. Is it all coming back to you?
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little bit like muscle memory. It's like riding a bike. Haven't done it in a while, but we know how to do it. Okay. So we've done one together. We did that one nice and slow, following every step. Why don't we look at number 2? Because we have something tricky happening with the second term in our problem here. We have a minus x.
It'll be negative 1.
Yes. Remember, if there's no number in front of x, that number is 1. If there's a minus in front of the x and no number, it's a minus 1 or a negative 1. So let's identify A, B, C. What's my A? 6. My B.
B is negative 1. Right?
Good. B is negative 1. And C, what is C?
Negative 117.
Yes, include that negative. Negative 117. Okay, so there's my A, B, C. Okay, so starting the process all the way over, what should I do here?
B equals,
Yes.
and then parentheses, negative 1 squared,
Negative 1, my B squared,
minus 4,
minus 4,
parentheses for A and B,
parentheses for A and C,
which is 50 negative 117.
beautiful. 6 is A, negative 117 is C. Perfect. Okay, so I have everything plugged into the discriminant formula now. Walk me through. What do I do?
You're gonna multiply negative 1 by negative 1 and get positive 1.
Perfect. So positive 1.
Then you're gonna take negative 4 times 6 times negative 117 and get 2,808.
Okay. 2,808. And
Add those together.
good.
Turn positive.
So we got 2 negatives here, negative 4 and negative 117. Because there's 2 negatives, they cancel. We're now doing a positive plus.
And G equals 2,809.
Perfect. Let's see. Yes, so our discriminant is 2,809. Got it. That is my discriminant. So, where do I go from here?
The second part of the formula.
Second part of the formula. Draw. Okay. So what should I write?
X equals,
Mm-hmm.
-1
What's before the -1?
minus.
Mm-hmm. There's a minus or a negative sign there. And then in parentheses, our B is -1. This is where we can forget sometimes. That negative always comes after the x equals. Now -1, so I've got negative B.
Your plus minus sign,
Plus minus sign.
and square root is 2809.
Perfect. My discriminant, 2809.
Then you divide by 2 times 8.
Goodbye.
Minus
6. Good. That's our A. So 2 times 6. 2 times A. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Everything is plugged in. Where do we go from here?
Break it into 2 separate problems.
Almost. What's the last problem? We had that where we plugged it in. We did something before we split it.
Gotta do the negative on the outside,
Ah.
the -1, and it'll be +1.
Yes, we want to simplify these 3 things here. -1 is +1. 1.
And then the square root of 2,809 is gonna be 53.
Perfect. So I'm going to bring down my plus or minus. And then we'll do our square root of 2809. Enter 53.
Over
Mm-hmm.
12.
Yep, all over 2 times 6 is 12. Wow. I have just 3 numbers, a plus or minus, and no other weird symbols like parentheses or square roots. So once I've reduced my problem down to just 3 numbers, now we do our split. So what's our plus equation?
1 plus 53.
Good. 1 plus 53 over 12.
And then 1 minus 53 over 12.
Good. And then 1 minus 53 over 12. And again, if you want to type it in all at once, do not forget, put some parentheses around the top 2 numbers. So we could put, I'm going to type this in, I'll speed that over. Parenthesis 1 plus 53, parenthesis, divided by 12. I got 4.5. Tell me if anybody gets a different number.
That's right.
4.5.
That's right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
And then the second one will be -4.3.
Okay, so I'll type that in. Just to double check. I'm sure that's right. 1 minus 53, parentheses, divided by 12. Negative 4.3 repeating. Yes. Anybody remember, how do we write a repeating decimal?
The line.
Yeah, we just put a little line over the number that repeats, and it's 3 repeating, so I'll put a line over my 3. Perfect. Okay, so there's my two answers, and I'm gonna put them together like I did for number one. And again, we've got two ways that we could write our answer. We could do the x equal negative 4.3 repeating comma 4.5. Or if you're feeling fancy, you could do the brackets. Oh, there we go. Feeling about those.
Good.
You feel good? Good. Good. Those red. Do we want to do any more of these? Or do we just feel super confident?
Getting us ready for the final.
Yes. Reviewing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to go through one more or do we feel super good?
You can do one more.
One more just for fun. Okay. We'll do one more and then I want us to look, we're gonna kind of go through all the unit today, just review a little tiny bit of everything. So what would come after this is unit 2. That's our systems of equations. That one I think was the toughest from what I saw of our grades. I
The
think that one was
elimination and
hard.
substitution part.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking at that and was like, man, I hope we go over that part.
We will. We will do that today. Okay, so let's do one more of these and then we're gonna play with unit 2 a little bit. So let's see, let's find a hard one. We'll get good practice in. Ooh. What about number 10? Would you guys know what to do on number 10? This is different, isn't it?
Yeah, let's learn it.
Let's learn it. Let's make sure we understand here. Number 10. Okay, so on this problem, we are going to want to think back to what a quadratic equation is set up like. So I'm going to write on a sticky note how a quadratic equation is structured. Remember that this is how it usually is. We have a x squared plus bx.
Let's see.
Yep, plus c. And then we have our equals 0 at the end. So whenever we start our problem, very first thing we always do is identify A, B, and C. So A is always right beside x squared. B is always right beside x. And C is always by itself, no x.
So this one's only an A and C then, ain't it?
Yes. Okay, so this is where it's important to know that -3 is not going to be a B, it's going to be a C. And Lewis, can you tell me how you knew it would be a C and not B?
Well, they didn't have the X by it.
There's no X by it. Perfect. So, if there's no X on there, it can't be B, it's going to be C. So let's identify A, B, and C for this problem. What would be my A?
3.
A is 3. And if I don't have X, there's no number for B. What is B?
This is 0.
0. Yes. Because if there was an X by itself, that would be 1. Like on number 2, we had minus X, so B was -1. But here, there's not even an x. The only thing that can get rid of x is 0. So, b, 0. There's no b. And now what's our c? -3. Good. Okay, I'll label it that with A. So A is +3, B is 0, C is -3. If you don't have this written down, this is a great note to take, remembering what goes with A, B, and C. And then I'm going to scoop this down just a little bit so you can still kind of see it, and then we're going to start working on solving this. So I have A, B, and C. Where do I go from here?
Write the formula out, I would assume.
Yes, write the formula out. Let's start with our discriminant formula, D equals. And what goes next?
The B,
B, which
0,
is 0.
X,
So 0.
0 in parentheses, ain't it?
And then what?
When the 2 still go over,
Yep. 0 squared, because B squared.
-4,
-4.
and you got your A and your C,
And then your A and your C.
you got parentheses.
Yes. So what goes in the last two? Good. 3 and -3. Okay. So we have 0 squared minus 4 times 3 times -3.
The 0 going to cancel all that.
Yes.
Beginning.
0 squared is 0. I don't need 0. 0 does not change any number unless I'm multiplying 0. I can just cross that out.
Then you're going to multiply -4 by 3 and -3
Good.
and get 36.
-4 times 3 times -3 is 36. And that is
Still 36.
positive 36, right?
Negative and a negative.
Yes, because the two
Positive.
negatives
Positive.
cancel, they become positive. And because this was 0 squared, I'm not adding or subtracting anything. This is my discriminant. I'm done. It is, because if I were to bring down, this is what I would have. I would have 0 plus 36. And what's that?
36.
It's 36. It doesn't change it. So our discriminant is 36.
D. It was D. I wanted it. It's so good.
Not too bad.
Go back to the formula.
Just throws you off whenever you might be missing a term, but we can do it. We can do it.
Then go back and pick up this formula.
Yes, so I have my discriminant. Where do I go from here?
Now we do the formula,
Mm-hmm.
plug it in,
Oh.
all our values again.
Yes.
X equals,
X equals
I guess, what, -0 in
Yeah.
parentheses,
negative, parentheses, our B is 0.
plus or minus, and then our little funny doodad thing there.
What's that called?
Square root.
Square root.
Square root, yeah.
Okay.
36
Square root of 36.
over 2 and the A.
Good. 2A, and A is
3.
3. Okay.
Now,
Now, don't split it. Don't tell me that's what we do next. What do we do next?
we do the math.
Do the math. What math are we doing?
The -0, which is and the square root. I'm stuck on Lewis.
Crack me up. Okay, so what comes down here? I'm trying to simplify some things.
Okay.
So it's going to be 0.
Yes.
-0. It's there's no such thing as -0. It's just 0. I am gonna bring down that 0 though.
I'm just gonna
Still
do
need it.
It's going to be 0
Plus.
plus or minus.
So left on minus.
It's going to be 6.
Yes, the square root of 36 is 6. Let's cross that out. Do not bring your square root down.
Over 6.
All over 2a's. 2 times 3 is 6.
0.
And then you split them.
Now we split them. Okay. So when I split, what's my first problem?
0 plus 6 over 6.
Good. 0 plus 6 over 6.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Hold up. Do that. Oh, you just cross it out.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to cross it out. That's my bad.
Okay.
So your answer will be wrong.
Yes, we got the confused mistake.
Okay, so I crossed that out. I got 0 plus or minus 6 over
And then-
6.
0 minus 6 over 6.
Yes. So I did my positive 1. Now I'll write my negative. Or minus 6 over 6. Put those in parentheses too. So I don't forget. Let's go first.
And it's gonna be 6 over 6 equals 1.
Mhm.
And the bottom's gonna be negative 6 over 6 equals negative 1.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So we end up with our positive 6 over 6, which is 1.
Still negative 6.
Then you do 0 minus 6. That does give you the negative 6 over 6, which is just negative 1. That's our answer.
No, okay.
So I'm going to write my answers in one place. X equals negative 1 and positive 1. There we go. All right. Good review. Good review. You guys seem pretty confident on this. That's awesome.
Once our brains were refreshed.
Right. Once we refreshed it, we got it. We got
I was
it.
confused at first.
That's why it's good to review.
You
Definitely
gonna let us use all of our stuff for the, if we decide to do the,
The written.
written
Yes.
final?
Yes. Open note, just like a quiz.
Alright,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Okay, so I'll have us put those away here in a second, and let's, before I send you on a break, let's just get a couple of notes started for a Unit 2 review. Before I move this, does anybody still need it? I can leave it up for a minute. Shooting that out. So that is Unit 1. We just reviewed quadratic equations. Now, Unit 2, I'm going to title this first, Algebra 2. Unit 2 review. And then I'm going to title underneath this, Systems of Equations. Okay. And there are 2 methods that we use. Really, there's 3 if we include graphing, but there's 2 written out methods for solving systems of equations. And the first one that I taught you, I believe, was substitution. So we're going to start with that one. Substitution is the method that we like to use whenever one equation is written in slope-intercept form. If you don't remember what that means, it's whenever it starts with y equals mx plus b. Right over here, slope-intercept. That's the slope-intercept equation. And then usually we have a second equation. Sometimes it's also in slope-intercept form, but usually it'll be in standard form. Ax plus by equals C. Standard form. Okay. And then let me pull out a problem from that unit. Grab my unit 1 binder real quick. So, as an example for substitution, let's use y equals 4x plus 12. And the other equation is 4x plus 3y equals -12. This is our system. And remember, when we're solving a system, we're solving for x and for y. So the only way to do that is to solve for one at a time. What were you going to say?
Plug it in.
Yes, we're going to plug some stuff in. We're going to substitute. That's why it's called substitution. We're going to substitute this y value, which it says here y equals 4x plus 12. That means y is y, 4x plus 12 is y. That's what the equal sign tells me. So, this is y. Where do I need to plug this into?
Next to 3.
Next to 3, the y in the other equation. So, step 1, we are going to substitute the y with the value that we're given. So substitute, how can we write that? Let's see. I'm going to write y equals mx plus b. I'm going to circle that mx plus b part, so it's like the after part, 4x plus 12. Substitute this into ax plus by equals c. Circle the y next to that capital B. I'm going to do that. So to substitute it, we want to basically rewrite that second equation, but we don't want to use y. We want to use 4x plus 12. We're basically trying to get one equation written with only one variable. We're getting rid of the y in this problem and getting it so we only have x's. That way we can solve for x. Yes?
Did we put the 4x plus 12 in the parentheses?
Yes. We put it in parentheses. Thank you for reminding me. So when I rewrite this, I'm going to put 4x plus 3, don't put y, put instead 4x plus 12. Close your parentheses. Okay, so I've done that.
Can you bring your equals -12?
Yes, bring down the rest of it too. Equals -12. Now I have an equation with just x. I can solve this.
And then multiply 3 by 4 and then 3 by 12.
Yes, this is where we distribute. So,
Question.
yes.
Okay, never mind. I see the plus at the top.
Plus at the top.
Yeah, never mind. No,
Okay.
I'm talking out loud. My
Okay,
bad.
you're fine. Okay, so here's where we distribute. 3 times 4x, what is that?
12x.
Good. 12x. Do not forget your x. That
Okay.
comes down.
Plus 36.
Good. And then 12 times 3 or 3 times 12, that gives us 36.
Then you bring your 4x plus down.
Bring down 4x plus.
Equal sign of negative 12.
Good. Bring down the rest. Equal sign. Negative 12.
You add your x's together.
So here, let me cross off things that I brought down so I don't get mixed up. Now we're doing the step where you say you're adding x's together. Anybody remember what that is called whenever we add together things that are similar? Your like terms. We're going to combine like terms. So that's step 3.
Which the math will be equal 16x. Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
You're okay. I'm just going through this first one a little slow. Combine like terms. And we said 4x and 12x are like terms. So we add those and get 16x. And then what do I do?
Bring down the plus 36.
Yes.
Equal on the negative 12.
Bring down plus 36. Bring down equal. Bring down your negative 12. And now,
Subtract 36 almost.
yes, now we can solve for x. So I'm going to draw a line and I'm going to write step 4. Solve for x. And then you said, let's subtract 36. That is a perfect idea. Minus 36 on both sides. Okay. Now what happens?
16x
16x.
equals negative 48.
Good. Equals negative 48.
Divided by 16.
Divide by 16.
And on this side of x equals negative 30.
Beautiful. We get x equals negative 3. Yes. Okay, so we have our x value. This is where the problem starts to feel long because we just did all that, but we do still need to solve for y. This last step, though, is very quick.
Oh, yeah.
The last step is very quick. So once we have x, I'm going to write this as step 5. Let me get the So I have my x. Basically, what am I doing now to find y?
Plugging in negative 3 to your x.
Yes. Where am I plugging?
4x plus 12.
Yes. So we want to plug in the x value to that original kind of, what am I going to call that? That original value for y that we substituted in. Because this says y equals 4x plus 12. If I plug in an x here, now I have y equals whatever that math gives me. So, plug in x to the original equation, the y equals equation. Okay. So, I'm going to rewrite that equation down here. Y equals 4 instead of x. Negative 3.
So if you multiply 12 by negative 3, you get negative 12.
Perfect. So 4 times negative 3 is negative 12.
Plus 12 equals 0.
Yes. Plus 12. Bring everything down. Negative 12 plus 12 is 0. Y equals 0. X is negative 3. What is the very last step?
Right down below.
Yes, write them both down as a coordinate. Right answer as. So that would be, what would my coordinate be?
-3.
Yes, -3, 0. How did that feel? We haven't done that in a while.
Pretty good.
Good, good. A little easier doing it again after not doing it for so long.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if this was something you struggled with going through this the second time and having some notes to look off of will be helpful. All right. It is 10:30. I would like to give you guys a little break at this point. So we'll take 15, come back at 45, 10:45.